Morning all. Don't know if you could hear it, but it's absolutely blowing a gale up here. Look at these lights outside. And they're tied quite tight. They've been going mad. How are you doing? Good morning. Come and join me. I'm still all puffy. Got a bit of makeup on right enough, but why wouldn't you first thing in the morning, eh? That would be scary. Too scary. I usually do this in the kitchen on the sofa, but I forgot I've given that sofa to my mum because she's waiting on her sofa. And when she moved into that house, the house my mum's in right now was a show house, and there was everything: spoons, vases, lights like lamps, everything. You only needed to move in with your clothes, but the sofas that are in there are really, really hard and uncomfy. So I says, take that one just now. So there we go. Anyway, who've we got? Go and tag everybody. This is all about the book this morning. We're going to cover bits of chapter 1, bits that I think that it's not just enough to read and for me to think, yeah, they've read that. I need you to hear it. And you can't unhear, you can't unsee. And I'll know that you've read it, okay? My voice is still a wee bit groggy. In fact, I have took a couple of baby bells because I'm about to get this down me now. I know baby bells are not organic and it's not the food of choice. However, they were there and I wanted something on my stomach. So this is ashwagandha. And it's met with the powerful ingredients and chemistry, if you like, of magnesium. This is an incredible product. It's my recharge product, and it is absolutely phenomenal. It is an adaptogenic blend, which means it will work with your body to maintain homeostasis, your body's natural levels where it should be. It's amazing. It is so energy boosting, minimises fatigue. Get it over. I moved my pampas grass, can you see it? Quite sure about it there. Morning. So, here we go. Last night's live, actually, if you haven't seen it, you need to see it. Go back and watch it. It was like a therapy session for me. When you can identify with your story and you can talk about your story and know that it's helping other people, it is hugely powerful and it's hugely therapeutic. And that's a lot of the reasons why I've healed a lot of my stuff is because I feel Look B. When you show up for other people, you show up for you too. So when you show up on the page and you invest time and effort and energy into this phenomenal community that we've built, it really is like therapy. And there's been many people say, I've had psychologists and psychiatrists, and they have their place, of course, and been to therapists of in various fields, let's say. And there's nothing been quite like Feel Look Be and what it's done for people. So please use the community, please share, please, and I'm not telling you to open up things that you don't want to, but it honestly does help. Anyway, we're on to the book. So here we go. I love the way she writes. She writes like I speak, actually, which is helpful for me. And we're quite aligned, and I get her and I often chuckle to myself. This is the second time we're reading this book now. We read it last year. Daylight's just starting to break now. Yeah, it's a great book, so please enjoy it. So one thing I wanted to pick out first was it's page 10. And a lot of this I'll be reading, and I'm not the best reader out loud, so I hope you just bear with us and help me get to the crux of the matter, okay? So, listen to this, and this covers a wee bit of what I was talking about last night, actually. So she's saying, most of us feel we have no control over our destiny because we are living by a template that has been manufactured by our parents, teachers, culture, government and media. That's what I was saying last night. When you're brought up in a household and it's maybe alcoholism, or it's maybe something else, maybe something completely different. But you start to form beliefs on the basis of what you see, what you hear, what you feel. And before long, all of these external influences, if you like, form or forge your belief system. And your belief system actually forms part of your subconscious mind. And that makes up about 90% of who you are. So I'm coming off of this, sorry, but I'm going back to it in a minute. So if you are living with your subconscious mind driving 90% of what you do, you're probably living a lot in the past. That's okay. I'm not on grads, that's fine. What I'll do, Leslie, is I'll share this afterwards, okay? So I can maybe put a wee post up. And I'll share this afterwards. So, yeah, back to the book. All of these beliefs are being formed from everything that we're feeling as a youngster. At birth, we are given a whole palette of beautiful colours, enabling us to paint the most incredibly vibrant life. That's great, that. Yet, as each year passes, we become conditioned to believe that life is an endless chain of eat, sleep, work, repeat. How many people feel that? The drudge of that. Eat, sleep, work, repeat. I've got a gym called Train, Eat, Sleep, Repeat, which is very, very different, by the way. But eat, sleep, work, repeat. A lot of people think that that's just what you do. That's what we're here for. You're on this perpetual hamster wheel of just working, living to work. I posted about that last week. Most of us end up believing that life is limited and restricted. Definitely. Tragically, instead of believing that we are powerful artists, and behaving accordingly, we become a victim to our own story. Every time we buy into a belief of fear and scarcity, we give away a colour from our palette, and our potential to paint an incredible picture of what life should be like is diminished. How true is that, by the way? That's why so many people are not fulfilled and life feels so beige, so black and white, so boring, so vanilla. In essence, we have forgotten who we truly are. Definitely. High fives to that. Show me some love hearts, please. If you feel that or have felt that, say yes. Let me see. This is what I see most of in women, because I work with women now. It used to be men and women. This is what I see most of. Life is just for working, for the occasional holiday that we'll go on a diet for. We'll pay our £5 every Monday to get weighed, and we'll lose a few pounds to get on that holiday, and then we'll come back. We're back on the hamster wheel. We'll have an occasional night out, and has that been reality for you? Maybe it has been, and there's nothing wrong with that. But there is a different way to live completely, isn't there? There's a different way to see things, but we have to open the door inside to get to that. And that's the hard bit. That's the fucking painful bit. Oh, yes. So, also added to this, have you lived a life for somebody else? Have you actually been on this hamster wheel living somebody else's life to keep them happy, to keep them sweet, to keep them off your back half the time? And you're on this, and actually you're living out, you're playing out somebody else's life. It's not the life for you sometimes, and you feel it and you know that because I've been there. But I see that too. And that's a really tricky one. That is when the door really has to open inward, and that takes guts. Doesn't take balls. It takes guts, and it takes conviction, and it takes listening to yourself. Real true connection with yourself, or you lose yourself to it all. You just become somebody that you're not even you. That person left years ago. You're not you. You've walked out on your own self for the sake of somebody else. Anyway, okay, this is the part I want to get to. Now, these wee nuggets, I call them nuggets, these wee mindset sessions, they'll stick with you all day, and maybe even all week, and maybe even all month, and there'll be things in them that you'll think, yeah, that I get that. I'm not sure about that, but definitely that. And it will start to slowly help you change. I promise you. That's why I do it. That's why I set my alarm for 6 o'clock to prepare for this and get up with you. I want to help you. It's such a shame that we've only got 86 eyes on, because when you feel it and you see it at the time together as a community, it's really, really powerful. Look at the sun starting to lift now. Okay, listen. Am I getting better at reading out loud? I think I am. Most people I speak to sing the same tune. She could be me, couldn't she? They feel unfulfilled. They feel they are failing and lost about what their path should be. For the most part, their life lacks passion, purpose, and a sprinkling of va-va-voom. Because their paint palette now lacks the resources for them to paint a truly beautiful picture. Absolutely. Many of us buy into the story that making money is hard, that we should strive for a comfortable life, that we should be grateful for what we have and not want more. Bullshit. We are sold into the idea that life is for working and that dreaming is for idiots. Definitely. We believe that there is only so much love and success to go around, and we had better whip out our boxing gloves and fight for it and work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and don't sleep and be stressed out your nut and just live life in stress states to get there. Bullshit. That's not true. That is not true. But that's what we've been conditioned to think. And we're also not allowed a side hustle, are you? You're not allowed a side hustle, and how dare I have a side hustle? And in fact, how dare I have lots of things, and how dare you have lots of things? Because you're not supposed to have them. Bullshit. You're supposed to have everything that the world has to offer, whatever that is that you want. And if we can do it sustainably, and we can be kind to the universe and be kind to the environment, fantastic. Right there. So we better whip out the boxing gloves and fight for it. We buy into the self-sabotaging beliefs that, who am I to have it all? Is that you? Who are you to have it all? Do you believe that you should not have it all? Or it's too hard for you? Or you just need to settle? You just need to accept what you've got, and that's it. That's utter nonsense. But we've been conditioned. And as women in particular, we've been conditioned to think that. How dare you think you can go for a promotion? How dare you think that you can get above that glass ceiling? In fact, you can take a sideward step and you can go even further. You're not supposed to think those things. But you are thinking these things. You're thinking them right now together with 87 eyes on, 88. 88 people feeling what you're feeling right now. The world is your oyster. The world is there for the taking. There's only one person like you that could do it like you. So why don't you prove to yourself that actually you are worth it? You do deserve it. Whatever it is. Whatever it is. It's different for me than it is for you. Keep saying that. And that's to dispel all the judgments out there. Sitting there with your bottle of judgment. No judging. I'm different to you. You're different to me. I accept that. I hope you do too. Listen. People work 5 out of 7 days to be able to afford the material objects that they think will bring them happiness, and that they believe, represents success. That's true, isn't it? 5 days out of 7. So you've got 2 days off. You live for the weekend. You get to the weekend. You go absolutely bananas. Before you come on to feel like B, you end up living a life for the weekend. Sunday comes round, you're in the doldrums. You're dreading work on the Monday. You're hungover for a start. You feel fat as butter because you had that kebab and whatever else. And you get to Monday and it's that thing all over again. Doesn't have to be like that. But it takes guts. Real guts. Real looking inward. Real bravery. And if you can do it for anybody, do it for your kids because they're watching you. They're watching you take all the shit. They're watching you take all the stick from people around you and going, my mum's quite weak. Those words don't leave their mouths. If you're taking all that and just on that hamster wheel anyway, what's that showing them? Show them grit. Show them resilience. Show them how it should be done. My mum wasn't brave enough to leave my dad. So I'm talking from a really fucking full heart of this stuff. And I don't mean leaving your partners. I don't mean any of that stuff. I'm just talking about my story here. This could be your job. This could be a situation you find yourself in. It could be the relationship you've got with yourself. Walk out on yourself if you're not serving yourself and get the person that you were before. This is all this stuff. It's not just about relationships. Anyway, wait a minute. Once they attain the object, they realise that it hasn't filled them up. So they get into debt trying to buy more things to fill the void, just to wake up every morning and still feel unhappy. And even more broke. The cycle goes on and on and on. Right, so what I'm trying to say to you is there is a completely different way of living right now that you're living. If you are stuck and living in lack and you don't like your job and you don't like stuff, ask yourself one thing right now. Are you happy? Give us a wee drink. Are you actually happy? Or are you just, meh, I'm alright. I don't want you just to be alright. I want you to be fucking on top of the world. And I want to help you do that. But it's really hard and it takes massive amounts of bravery. And all of the stuff is this stuff right now. The stuff that's going to get you thinking. It just starts with thoughts. And then those thoughts become, you're able to speak it to people at work, or you're able to speak it to your pals or your partner. And it might bring you and your partner closer together because you're starting to speak now about what you actually want, who you actually are. And then from those words comes actions. And then from actions comes the stuff, what the universe is ready to bring you. But it starts up here first. And that's why I'm sat in front of you right now. How are you doing, everybody? There's 99 eyes on now. I work 7 days a week. Yeah. It's fine if you love it. If you love your work, you might want to work 7 days a week. And that's amazing. If you're happy, that's amazing. Nothing knocks that, does it? And there's nothing I can say or nothing anybody else could say that would knock if you're happy. You go to me, Shelley, that's your opinion. That's fine, sweetheart. On you go. You've got thousands of women you're helping. On you go. But actually, I'm fine. That's great. That is amazing. But so many people aren't great. And so many people are unhappy. The majority, actually. So, how are you? Are you okay? Go and put one word right now how you feel. One thing I'm going to ask you to do today, I've just seen Mary there saying, I'm improving my relationship, I'm not as grumpy. I'm happy apparently. Do you know, living with a grumpy arse, it's awful, isn't it? And if you're that person, that's not good. So all of this stuff has to happen. But also how you are today. Go and be the observer of how you are with other people. Be the observer. How are you? How did you treat that person? How did you speak to your partner? How did you know? How did you treat your daughter this morning when she was running a bit daft and you had to go and iron her shirt last minute or her blouse and you had to get her packed lunch ready and she's screaming at you? How did you treat her? Be the observer of how you treat people. Because how you treat people ultimately reflects on how you feel about your own self, who you are, with you. If you treat people like shit, if you talk to them like shit, you're grumpy all the time, you're moaning all the time. Oh, wow. I'm surprised you're not single for a start. But you can't do that. You can't go through life like that, can you? My potential hasn't been realised yet. So the fact that you've just said that, whoever that is, look, my potential hasn't been realised yet. Isn't that amazing that you're speaking that? Because you're actually realising that your potential is there. You've not tapped into it yet. Fucking brilliant. That's great. Right, was there any other parts of the book I want to go through? I think there was. Also, she tells you some case studies or stories of people. Listen, here's Lucy's story, just really quickly. Lucy grew up in a working class household where her parents both worked full time, so had little quality time with their kids. That was the same for me too. They struggled to make ends meet and argued a lot because of this. When Lucy and her when Lucy had a family of her own, she was always fearful about not having enough money. She and her husband worked, and although they were better off financially than her parents, Lucy would argue with her husband about money a lot. Lucy also never pushed herself to get a better job because she didn't see the point, as she thought it would involve even more hours away from her family. Lucy's templates were sabotaging her potential to create the life of abundance for her family. We are so stuck in our old beliefs that we are just resting on our laurels and we stay in the same old job, the same old relationship. That's great if it's serving you, if you're happy, that's amazing. But if you're not, it's not. Same old, same old, same old. There is a different way. And it starts right now. Listen to this, because you will think about this all day. All day. So, there we go. Everybody fine? Nervous. This is how you feel. Hopeful, centred, nervous. That means you're thinking about change. You're thinking about doing something different. Emotional. Oh, somebody's struggling. Well, if you're struggling, we have a team that are right there for you. So please message us. And if there's anything that needs to get to me, it will get to me. Okay, so please lean on the team. Our Jill, Megan and Leslie are absolutely fantastic, as is Mary. They're there for you, and so am I. My husband says I've been so much happier since being on Feel, Look, Be. Amazing. See you and your husband. High fives to you. Brilliant. Sorry, I'm just reading your comments here. Oh, big new start for somebody. I'm just seeing a lot of Facebook users that it's because you've not allowed. Megan done a wee video for you on how to add ecamm to your Facebook, so ecamm can speak to your Facebook so as I could see who you are. So please go back into Megan and Leslie. Can you hashtag that video, please, and put it under announcements or featured videos? That would be great. So, the gratitude journal starts today. Get a journal, get a pad, get a jotter, do whatever you need to do. Just don't get the back of a fag packet because they shouldn't be anywhere near you, should they really? And write down how you feel today. That's all I want you to do. Write down how you feel. Are you happy? Get emotions into it. I'm happy, I feel joyful, I feel excited, I feel emotional, I feel fearful, I feel maybe anxious. Somebody just said nervous. Just write it down, and all you need to do is just get it on paper, and it will start you off on this incredible journey of self-love, I promise you. I hope you all have a tremendous day. The book, let's jump over to chapter 2 now. And they're not long chapters. It doesn't take long at all, does it? She's made a commitment to herself, listen, and she's asking you to make a commitment to you, listen. Make a daily commitment to your personal development, which could be learn something new, do something that you've not done, personal development stuff. Make a daily commitment to do that. She's also asking you to read every last bit of this book, fine. Implement the tasks in each chapter. Okay, let's get to our tasks. Okay, before we finish. Where you are now is not where you are or can be in a week, month or a year. Everything could change, and everything is temporary, remember. Everything changes. Psychology is incredibly vital in changing your life, and it all starts with your mind. When you bring the universe into the equation, you can skyrocket your success, making the universe your best BFF. Don't judge until you have got through the whole book. Okay, fine. You need to commit to your transformation for this to work. So, she's on about the universe there. Last thing. The universe works in a way that will bring you everything that you cast off. The energy let's just say the energy. Your potential is not tapped into until you bring your full self to your reality. And when you start to do that, the universe matches. It's like match funding. The universe goes, right, fine, you're showing up as this. There you are there. Take that. So if it's abundant and if it's full and if it's vibrant and there's full of life, it's going to be incredible. But likewise, the universe also does that when you have this lack, this jealousy, this bitterness, this resentment, this anxiety and worry. You show this, the universe gives you that back. So that's why people can't really get out the bit, ever, because they cannot change this energy thing. And I'll get more into this later. I wasn't even going to cover that, but our Noor has. So the law of attraction, like attracts like. Whoever you show up as today, the universe will bring you that, and so it'll be doubled if you like. Not really, but let's just pretend it'll be doubled. And that's exactly how the universe works. So when you show up as your best self and you're light and you're spirited and you're kind and compassionate and understanding, all the good things are going to find you very, very quickly. When you're the opposite, you're going to stay stuck. Okay. I will be jumping on later on, I don't know when, to do a CrossFit style workout. Don't worry whether you are a keen fitness enthusiast or whether you don't do much at all right now. I need you to do 10,000 steps minimum a day, no matter who you are, what age you are, what weight you are, unless there's an issue that stops you. And if there is, I want to hear about it. Message the teams is in my ears. But the workout is just to gear you up for the CrossFit Open. And it's a number of weeks and there's a different workout every week. And you challenge yourself. And that's all it is. It's a personal challenge. So over the next couple of weeks, I'm going to be gearing you up to learn a lot of the CrossFit moves and put them together in wee workouts. Be good fun workouts that the whole family can do. So, loads of love to you. Have a brilliant day. I know that stuff's going to sit with you. Let's jump over to chapter 2 and I'll see you soon. Take it easy. Bye-bye. Sunlight.